Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the gynecological investigation. Till now we have studied about the in the first video we have studied about the history collection. In the second one we have studied about the examination, gynecological examination. Today we are going to study about the gynecological investigation. So there are some common investigation in gynecology. First I'll enlist the name, then I'll explain one by one. So some common investigation are blood values, urine examination, urethral, vaginal and cervical discharge, exfoliative cytology, colposcopy, imaging techniques, endometrial sampling, biopsy, chondrosynthesis, endoscopy and hormonal assay. So there are so many investigation it's carried for the finding out the disease, but this is the commonly used gynecological test. First one is the blood routine. In the blood routine we are going to see the hemoglobin estimation, like excessive bleeding is there means total and different count, okay, ESR, platelet count, bleeding time, clotting time, and if in case of pubertal menorrhagia, then serological test to find out the BDRL or Australian antigen or HIV. See, this blood test on all only based on the patient's symptoms and complaint we are going to write which one to be done. Like if the example, if it is excessive bleeding we are going to see the hemoglobin level. If it is pelvic inflammatory disease we are going to see the total and differential count or ESR count. Okay, if it is like VDRL or Australian antigen or HIV we are going to advise the patient to do the serological test. Okay, just not necessary all the patient will advise all the test. Okay, next one is urine analysis. In the urine analysis we are going to see the urine routine and microscopy. In that physical examination, chemical estimation of the protein and sugar, pus cell and cast. Next one is culture and drug sensitivity. In that indication like pus cell is below 5, urinary tract infection, cystocele, urinary complaints or fistula, or urine pregnancy test for the diagnosis of pregnancy. Urethral discharge. So urethral discharge is the method of collection is with the help of this swab. We are going to collect the discharge from the urethra, okay, cotton swab, and you have to send it for test. Next is vaginal discharge. So the method of collection is the patient not to have vaginal douche for 24 hours. Cuscus vibale speculum introduced. I have shown you the picture how it will look. Cuscus speculum, that will they will introduce. Discharge from the posterior fornix on the blade of the speculum or cervical canal taken with the swab. Then microscopic examination and discharge mixed with the normal saline, and they will send it for cultural sensitivity test. Next one is exfoliative cytology papillocolon test or PEP test, screening test for the cancer. So that is for cervical cancer, and it was first described by the Papillocolli and Tront in 1943. That's why it is told as PEP test, PAP test. Okay. Routine gynecological examination in females, especially above 35 years. Normally now they will go for 30 after 30 only, and yearly screening for 3 years followed by 5 yearly test. And user screening for cancer, identification of local viral infection like herpes and the condyloma acuminata, and cytohormonal study. See, this is the procedure how they are going to collect the pap smear screening for cancer with the help of the cuscus speculum and the spatula from the cervix. They are going to collect the smear. This is the picture, go through it. Next one is chondrosynthesis, the transvaginal aspiration of the peritoneal fluid from the pouch of the Douglas. Okay, transvaginal aspiration of the peritoneal fluid from the pouch of the Douglas, and diagnostic procedure like pelvic abscess, ectopic pregnancy, and detect the malignancy and ovarian cyst. So for to find out this disease or to confirm this disease, they will advise for the chondrosynthesis. And instruments needed are valsellum, forceps, posterior vaginal speculum, and aspirator syringe. This is valsellum, this is posterior vaginal speculum, and this is the syringe. These are the three instruments needed to do this procedure, caldosynthesis. So this is the procedure how they will collect. With the help of that speculum, they will pull or they'll push this vaginal down, okay, and with the help of porcum, the upper part they'll hold, and they will introduce that syringe, and they'll check for abnormal fluid in the abdominal cavity behind the uterus. So this is the procedure and how they'll do it. These three instruments, the use of these three instruments. Okay, one they will use in the down, one they will use up, and with the syringe they will collect the fluid. Next is colposcopy. Colposcopy is a gynecological procedure that illuminate and magnify the vulva and the vaginal walls and the uterine cervix in order to detect and examine abnormalities of this structure. So this is also one procedure with the help of one microscopic structure which is called as colposcope. So we are going to visualize the vagina with this instrument. That's why it is called as colposcopy. You are going to see the vulva, vaginal wall, cervix, okay, to detect any abnormality in the structure. And how is colposcopy done? A colposcope is a microscope. The instrument has a range of magnificence lens and color filters detect tiny abnormal blood vessels on the cervix, and the colposcope is used to examine through the vaginal opening. Next one is hormonal assay. In that you are going to see RIA or ELISA, hormone assay like FSH, LSH, PRL, okay, ACTH. These all are hormone name like follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, prolactin hormone, okay. And this T3, T4, TSH, progesterone, okay, estradiol, testosterone, aldosterone, cortisol, HCG, anti-hydrophenol, androsterone, and androstenedione. These are the hormonal assay, means hormonal value they are going to find out. Everyone have hormone in our body, but it has some normal level. If it is more, it is problematic. If it is less, it is problematic. So why you need to go for hormonal assay is to diagnosis of menopause, PCOD, that is polycystic ovarian disease, prolactinemia, monitoring the treatment regimen in ovulation induction or AST. Next is X-ray. It's very common for all the patient, not only for gynecological, for other disease condition also you can advise X-ray. Mainly if there is any fracture, anything, we will advise this X-ray. Ultrasonography, you know there is two type, one is transabdominal, one is transvaginal. Transabdominal means above, through abdomen they are going to do the scanning, okay. Scanner machine, this scanner machine through abdomen, okay. This is transvaginal, means they are going to introduce into the vagina. Transvaginal color droplet sonography, it is the information regarding the blood flow to from or within the uterus or adnexia. So this is two types, one is transabdomen above the abdomen, one is transvaginal through the vagina. Next one is CT scan. This is also common investigation done for any cases, okay. In that accurate information they will get, like supplement information from the ultrasonography, whole abdomen and the pelvis visualization in one sitting after taking 600 to 800 ml of diluted contrast media 1 hour prior to the procedure. Patient scan in supine position, accurate in assessing local tumor invasion and enable accurate localization in biopsy. Diagnose pelvic pain, thrombophlebitis or intra-abdominal abscess and other extragenital abnormalities. Metastatic implants and lymph nodes, if it is not detected, because in some cases if it is very small it is not detectable in the sonography or any other test. Next is it is contraindicated in pregnancy, this CT scan, because it has a ray, okay, so it is contraindicated in case of pregnancy. Or MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, well established cross sectional imaging modality, high soft tissue contrast resolution without airborne interference, limitation like cost, time, availability, and indicated only when a sonar or CT fails to detect a lesion or indifferentiate post-treatment fibrosis or tumor. If with the help of sonography or CT scan we are not able to find out the problem, then only we will go or will advise the patient to undergo the MRI. Okay. Next one is positron emission tomography or PET. To differentiate the normal tissue from the cancerous one based on the uptake of 18 fluoro 2 dextroglucose. Positron emission tomography PET test. Next one is endometrial biopsy. The endometrial biopsy is a medical procedure that involves taking a tissue sample of the lining of the uterus. The tissue subsequently undergoes histologic evaluation, which aids the physician in forming the diagnosis. So in case of endometrial biopsy, from the endometrium we are going to collect the one part or remove that section, sample, to find out that any, like mainly for the cancer, to confirm the cancer. Cervical biopsy, the same thing. If you are collecting the sample from the endometrium, that will be endometrial biopsy. If you are collecting from the cervical or cervix, it is the cervical biopsy. A cervical biopsy is the removal of the tissue from the cervix, the lower third of the uterus, to be analyzed for a cellular abnormalities, that is precancerous condition or cervical cancer. The cervix is a canal from the uterus into the vagina which leads to the outside of the woman's body. So which area? Biopsy means, as you know, to confirm the cancer. So like we are going to collect the tissue from that particular area and we are going to send it for biopsy. Next is endoscopy in gynecology. You have heard about this word many times, endoscopy. Mainly they will do for any gastritis problem. But in gynecology also we have an endoscopy, where endoscopy in obstetric and gynecology has many branches like laparoscopy, hysteroscopy, colposcopy, and salpingoscopy. First one is laparoscopy. It is a technique which allows the viewing or diagnostic and surgical maneuver therapeutic to be performed in abdomen organ through a surgical incision of less than 1 cm with the help of pneumoperitoneum. Means you have heard about this surgery, laparoscopic surgery. With the help of small hole, they are going to remove like stone and all, like kidney stone or gallbladder stone. In that, what they are going to do, in that they will make small hole. In one hole they will insert the instrument, in another hole they will insert the camera. Through this camera they will observe what is there in that part and they will try to remove it. That is laparoscopic surgery. Next is hysteroscopy. Hysteroscopy means it is a technique which allows the viewing and surgical maneuver to be performed in the uterine cavity. So in the uterine, if there is any problem, to remove any surgical, like any cyst, or any fibroid, so they will go for hysteroscopy. And it has many advantages that made in widespread and fundamental diagnostic method in daily gynecological practice. So this is the hysteroscopy. Go through this picture and this one. Salpingoscopy. Salpingo means fallopian tube. Salpingoscopy is an endoscopic technique that allows the direct visualization of the tubal mucosa, that is fallopian tube. The status of the tubal mucosa is the best prognostic factor when evaluating the patient with the tubal infertility. Tubal infertility means when it happens sometime because of any tubal this congenital defect, the woman is unable to pregnant, or sometime what happen, instead of in the uterus implantation, baby will implant in the tubus, this tube. So if there is any defect in the tube or fallopian tube, they are going to find out through the salpingoscopy. So with this we have completed the gynecological investigation and we have completed unit 1 of the gynecology. In this unit what you have studied till now, we have studied about the introduction, definition and history collection of the gynecology. Next you have studied about the gynecological examination and you have studied about the gynecological investigation. So with this we have completed first unit. Thank you everyone.